Alright, let's start. The insurance form, you don't have to worry about.
Okay.
But otherwise, you would normally have them sign all of this, because theoretically we can't bill or do anything unless this is signed. So this is important, but usually they take care of it up there. Like, you'll never see it, but just so you know that it exists. Yeah, exactly. You will either have a pediatric symptom checklist if you're seeing someone who's 17 or younger, or you'll have a BHQ 9, a Behavioral Health Questionnaire 9, if it's an adult. And so basically what those are there for is for you to be able to have a quick assessment as to potentially guide your questions on where you maybe need to add more emphasis or where you need to go more. For example, if it's like acts as if driven by a motor and is distracted easily, those are the only two that are like skewed as often, then you might want to start thinking about executive functioning stuff, right? In the brief health questionnaire, they're looking at stress and depression and anxiety. So oftentimes what happens is like it's skewed to the depression questions, or it's skewed to the anxiety questions, or it's all of it, right? So it's going to help you get a flavor of kind of what's walking in the door and understanding what you're going to be needing to ask questions about more so. Particularly if you need to ask self-harm questions or suicidal ideation questions. Okay? If you're doing play, the When Your Child is in Play Therapy form exists to help explain what play therapy is and what parents can expect and what they can do, or how it all works, so that there's less questions on your end and they have a reference point from which to understand what they are, what to expect with kids. This is really helpful in the sense of being able to, because parents always want to come in every session, or they want to leave and drop the kids off, and none of those things are okay. It also talks about not questioning your child about after play therapy, what did you do in there, what did you play, what did you talk about, which is not appropriate. So we've covered all of those things in here to help with that, to clarify. So this is very helpful.
Is that where it talks about also being mandatory reporter?
No, that's going to be in your informed consent. So, next, I say, have either of you been in counseling before?
Yes.
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 When were you in counseling, and was it beneficial?
Wait, this, like,
Just pretend.
Okay. I was in counseling. I saw my therapist, like, last week.
Okay.
Yeah, I really did.
Okay.
And yes, it was beneficial.
Okay. Is there things that you don't like or do like?
I just like that there's like an open space to talk about my problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't have to take it home to my partner.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. And for you, have you ever been in counseling before?
Yes.
Rudy? Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have.
When was that, and was it helpful?
It was a few months ago, and it was not helpful.
It was not helpful. What was not helpful? What did you find that wasn't beneficial?
That I was criticizing every module and therapy thing that the therapist was doing.
So you were being hypercritical of it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's it. Alright. So you got the gist of that part, right? Because you want to ask that so you know whether you're going to be landing in landmines or not. Like, no, this is not helpful and I'm being required to be here, right? Mm-hmm. So if they're automatically like resistance really right away, then you know you got to work on that rapport building, and a little more probably helpful. Versus someone who's been in there before, it's been a positive experience. It's much more fluid then.
Something for a kid, I would be doing intake with the parent, and then I'll ask, like, has so-and-so been in counseling?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would even ask parents too.
Okay.
To help them understand what that looks like too. Because sometimes they have, and it's like, well, here's how play therapy is different, right? That's why you talk about that. So that's where the differences pop up.
And are you reading off a piece of paper?
No.
Oh.
That's why I'm taking this for you.
Okay, so I don't have to write anything down.
No, because you guys are going to go into pretend mode here pretty soon, even more so. So this is our, did you have a chance to read the disclosure by disclosure and consent form when you were out there waiting?
Oh, yeah, briefly.
Yes, briefly. Did you have a chance, Rudy? It's pretty long, that's why I'm asking. Those are not to be forced. They go together quite easily if you have patience and find the right way, just so you know. So, what my disclosure talks about is my view on people, my education, why I'm qualified to do this, what my scheduling looks like, my emergency contacts information is on there. Generally, you're gonna want to call 911 if there's an emergency and or go to the ER. That's the safest place to go because we don't have anybody here after hours. There is a cancellation fee, so you want to make sure that you call or contact the office 24 hours in advance. If it's an emergency or crisis, just let us know that. But in general, you want to try and give us the opportunity to refill that slot because we have a long waiting list to be able to get people in. We may not have any legal issues right now, but I want to let you know that if there does happen to be legal issues that pop up, we have a legal section because you cannot bill insurance for anything that's legal. So there is an outward fee for that, for any letters I wish to write or extra communication I'm going to have, or even attending in court or special forms for that. So let us know if that happens and we can make that happen. Do you guys know what the 3 things would be in which I would have to maintain your confidentiality or not maintain your confidentiality, speak to someone outside of this room?
You're gonna hurt somebody, you're gonna hurt yourself, and if an adult or like an older adult or a child is being abused.
You say that with a question mark.
Yeah.
Yes, so if you tell me you're going to hurt yourself, hurt somebody else, or somebody's hurting you, I have to report those things to keep ourselves safe. If I had teen and parent in here, I would say, so confidentiality works like this. Unless they tell me, unless it's one of these 3 things, you're going to hurt yourself, you're going to hurt me, hurt somebody else, or somebody's hurting you, I'm not going to talk to anyone outside of here, and that includes your parents. That being said, parents, you have the ability to tell me whatever you want. I will then say thank you, and I will talk to my clients when they're in here the next time about what needs to happen. But other than that, it's up to the team to, if they want to share anything about their sessions, they can, but they have the right to refuse to do so as well. Okay? It's a mouthful. So, then I would say, do you have any questions? Okay. Yes, you do have a question.
I do. So yesterday, when I was doing the session with Allie in the morning, Mom was asking me, like, if she could watch the videos. And I was automatically thinking, no. But instead, I was like, oh, let me ask Carrie, because I want to know what I should reply to her with.
That's a good question. So that's not uncommon for kids who know or for parents who know that videotaping is happening, whether it's for educational purposes or we're taping to just be safe, is to say that by showing her the videos, we're breaching her daughter's confidentiality and their right to have private space. And it's really hard for parents, once they see or know things, to not make judgments or protocols of their own assumptions based on that play. And that play is being done in a clinical environment, which is, so it's therapeutic based. So therefore, would you want me to be telling your daughter everything that you talk about in therapy? Probably not. So therefore, we're going to give confidentiality to your child so that they feel fully safe. That being said, if there's anything that's of concern or warrants me speaking to you, by all means, I will be doing that to make sure that we can have safety and composure all the way around.
No, that was enough.
Mic drop.
Said often, right?
Wow, okay.
Okay. So on here, so this would be the consent for treatment. You've had the ability to read. Usually it's on the back of these, on the back of the things, and it's not on here. But the counseling HIPAA disclosure of rights that you have via the state. If you want a copy of that, we can provide that to you. However, it's right here if you want to peruse it, and there's more on the waiting room if you'd like to review that.
That's available online too?
Okay. Yeah, it's on DOH. It's the one we pull straight off of DOH, so you can write it anywhere because it's the state law for what your rights are when you're a mental health treatment or counseling. Yep. And then to make sure that you understand that any communication you have over a website, texting, email, Skype, all of those different formats, there is limited confidentiality in that. So we ask that you limit your detailed information unless you are under the official telehealth platform from which we have HIPAA compliance in that. That being said, you can provide me emails. Just know that all emails will go in files. So if you don't want somebody to go in files because you don't want someone to have it, don't send it to me because it'll be on record and in the file. Okay? So if you understand those things, then you have them initial here and here and here. Down here, that's this area. Okay?
And if they don't understand those things?
Then you can't continue with treatment because they're not informing, they're not accepting your informed consent. So if they've got further questions, this would be the time for those questions to be asked. Is there anything you feel uncomfortable with? For you guys, you would also be talking about how, because in your disclosure, it talks about me being your supervisor, so it's, and your school having supervision, right? So it would be that you understand that information about your case, not identifiable information, but information about your case will be given to those two facilitators, my supervisors, to ensure that I'm providing the best care possible.
Oh, I didn't put Kim Friedman on there.
Whoops. Okay.
It should be fine.
You can just put Annie Ock supervisor.
Okay.
We need to add that.
I was gonna say, yeah, and they already signed it. Like all three of those people.
Initial it. Tell them again and have them initial that
Okay.
phrase or whatever you add.
Okay.
You can write it in on theirs, and then we need to change it on the official ones. And yours would be Capella University.
Okay.
Because under the universities, we have our own insurances,
Yeah.
and so that way they're covered, and we're bound even stricter than normal HIPAA laws. So you can inform them. So then you make sure that they sign this top part. Them signing this top part means that they're agreeing for treatment and understand the expectations and rules about what are under here. If they have insurance claim, which you don't have, they have to sign here for us to be able to bill insurance. That's what that line is for. Okay? I just lost it.
So that one is one that I'm gonna have to go in and add my name, your name, and Capella.
There's a section on, will you send him yours? Yeah.
I have it, I think.
Send him yours, and you just have to add Capella on there. Capella's not on there. You have, because it's B in them. So they need to know that people in both locations will be seeing potentially their stuff, whether it's in. So the intake is set up to cover 12 domains that are in most. Which are the 12 domains you should cover? Okay? We're going to be talking about a 4-year-old with ADHD. You have a 4-year-old with ADHD. You as parents have a 4-year-old with ADHD.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Me too.
4-year-old with ADHD. Okay. So we've done informed consent, because you have to do that first before you can start gathering information. Even when parents or whomever really wants to dive into the nitty gritty, it's like we got to cover informed consent, make sure you understand what your rights are, and it's really important to know this, that we make sure that happens. Okay? So the first page is all the demographic information. It's going to tell us whether they have siblings or not, right? And their who they live with, which is just basic information. The back part has if they have a doctor, if they're on medications, when they've last seen specialists, anything like that. So, has your child seen any specialists other than, or is this your first attempt at receiving treatment?
First time.
First time.
Okay. Did your pediatrician refer, or is this self-driven?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both? That
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay. Is your child taking any medications?
No.
No. Okay, not yet. That's why we're here, right? So we want to do behavioral stuff first. Okay. Give me 3 adjectives to describe your child. 3 for you and 3 for you.
He
Mm-hmm.
is loud,
Mm-hmm.
funny,
Mm-hmm.
and sensitive.
Okay. For you?
Off the walls. Energetic. And intelligent.
Okay. Excellent. Alright. Who all lives at home?
That's 2, the kid and 2 dogs.
Alright. So you found me. That's right. Okay. So what initially is bringing you in? What are the symptoms besides the off the wall and busy, right? What are things that you're concerned about?
Pretty soon, he's gonna start going to kindergarten and class.
So
and
school's
all
gonna be
that
picking
stuff.
up. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how we're gonna handle off the wall going to school.
Yeah, and he's in preschool right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the preschool teachers are saying that he just can't sit still and follow directions.
Has he been kicked out of preschool before?
No.
What does his sleep look like?
Sleep? What is that? No.
He doesn't sleep.
I guess he doesn't sleep.
Sleep is poor. Alright, what does his eating look like? His appetite?
I think he's eating fine.
Okay.
And I don't know. It's so skinny.
Is he? You think so?
Yeah.
So you feel like he's skinny, but he is eating enough.
Well,
He might be just bouncing off the walls using all the calories.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be. Sounds like he has lots of energy, so he's not necessarily needing exercise, but do you have him involved in any activities to which he's getting physical activity?
Gymnastics
Okay.
And soccer.
and soccer.
Okay. And how well does he do in those? As far as does he get along? Does he comply? Is he on target? With other peers there?
All I can think of is he's a turd.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm totally thinking about a preschool child that I used to have.
No, that works.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's having a hard time.
Yeah. Like
Okay,
he's
so
not
socially,
listening-
peers and stuff, it's hard for him to hear other
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, like
Okay.
he's like making fun of them and stuff.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is he able to sit still and concentrate at all?
The only time that I see him sitting is after gymnastics. He seems so tired. But yet, with soccer, man, he seems like he can just run the whole world all
He
around.
keeps going. Okay. How's his verbal language? Is he able to communicate what his needs are and get his needs met? Or is it more behaviorally demanding then?
We can understand him.
Yeah. I'm not sure if his teachers know.
Okay. His verbal is maybe a little bit delayed, probably because he's moving so fast all the
Yeah.
time. Okay. Did he meet all his developmental targets thus far? Did he walk on time, talk on time? Sounds like his speech might be a little bit delayed, but other than that, did he achieve everything on time?
Yeah, he was pretty much almost running like at 8 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. So he's been mobile for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Has he ever had any accidents, surgeries, traumas, or major illnesses?
What about that one time we went on a boat and he fell overboard?
That's right. But
Did he
wasn't-
drown or did you get him on time?
We got him.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
Do you
had
ever
his
like
life
check
jacket.
that?
Yeah.
But that was pretty scary for everyone
Yeah.
involved. Okay. So he's never blacked out, never fallen on his head really hard, anything like that.
I mean, he's gotten like a couple soccer balls kicked out of his head before.
That makes sense.
And he's always off the wall, so sometimes he has fallen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But nothing to where you've taken him to the ER or anything.
No.
Okay.
Maybe we should have.
What's
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
was the pregnancy normal? Was delivery normal?
Yes. No. He was a C-section baby.
Okay. C-section. Was there any complications?
No.
Is there any drug or alcohol histories in the family? Use
No.
or abuse? No?
Are you gonna ask him?
I'm asking.
Oh, I see.
Both of you.
No.
No? Okay. Do either of you use drugs or alcohol?
No.
Is there family history of mental illness at all, as far as ADHD, depression, anxiety, mood disorders? Grandparents that were just known as crazy?
My grandma was bipolar.
Okay.
One.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Okay. Do you have any concerns about kiddo hurting himself intentionally or purposefully, or was it more just accidental?
Well, I don't know, when he's kicking the dogs,
Oh.
I don't know.
That's not hurting himself, that's hurting others. So are there other actions in which he does that?
just to make them move. Yeah, when he's trying to make
Get
them
him out
move,
of...
he kicks them.
And he does seem pretty angry when he's doing that too.
Okay. Do you have any concerns about his memory at all? Do you remember stuff?
I feel like sometimes he'll go and do something, and then when he gets there to do it, he like forgets what he was gonna do.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. How does he do it complying with picking up toys and stuff?
What was that?
How does he do it picking up toys and stuff?
So, only when he wants to. Or when we threaten him to, that we're gonna take them away or something, or throw them in the trash.
Yeah.
But then he starts throwing a tantrum then, so.
Right. How often does he tantrum?
A couple times a week.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How long do they last for?
I'd say maybe like 5 or 10 minutes, but then if it gets really bad, like if he's having a meltdown or something, maybe half an hour.
Okay. Do you know the difference between a meltdown and a tantrum?
Other questions for you.
Do you know the difference between a meltdown and a tantrum?
Are you seriously asking, or like about?
I think it's still an intake. Yeah, I think it's still an intake. Right, I can't tell. Like I never know. I never know.
Which one are you asking? Are you asking the client right now?
Both of you.
Okay.
Do you know the difference between a tantrum or a meltdown?
No, it's not the same thing.
Child.
No.
What do you mean it's not? It's all the same thing. It's all
he's
screaming.
like flipping his lid. So like if he flips his lid, then it's a meltdown. Like he's like his top.
So you've had some education in this. It sounds like you've been trying to educate yourself on.
Yeah, I read that book, The Whole Brain Child.
Okay,
I was trying to get my head around it. So I'm trying to help a little kid out.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah. That's about it though.
Okay. So making sure that works for him would probably be helpful.
Yeah.
Helping tailor some stuff to him.
Yeah.
Okay. Has there ever been any domestic violence, verbal abuse, physical abuse, or sexual abuse known to either occur to him or around him?
Well, we've had a few arguments. Nothing abuse.
Okay. Does he ever express anxiety or worry? Or seem overly stressed?
He seems like a happy child most of the time.
Okay. Where do your family live? Where does your extended family live? Local or far?
They live on the next state over.
Okay, so they're pretty far. How would you describe your relationship with them?
My relationship with them? Well, we see them once a year or twice a year.
Okay, and how about for you?
They live overseas.
Mm-hmm.
In Taiwan.
How often do you see them?
Once a year.
So who do you guys use for support around here? If you aren't relying on family?
We have a couple friends. Yeah? You do? We do.
Okay. Do you guys ever get to do date nights or get out on your own without kiddo?
Date night?
Mm-hmm.
That means no.
Having some free time would be good for you, but okay, so kid is in elementary. Does he make friends easier? It sounds like he really doesn't get along with his peers very much. Is it hard for him to
Yeah,
make
I think
friends?
it's hard for him.
What are things that his school reports as problematic?
That he doesn't stay still.
Mm-hmm.
That he sometimes yells at other kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that he doesn't share.
Yeah, like he's running around the classroom when it's supposed to be quiet time, like right before nap time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
What does he like to do for fun?
He'd beat on other kids.
Be a bully?
Yeah, because he thinks it's funny.
Okay. What would you find him doing at home? Activities at home?
Watching TV?
Okay, how much screen time does he get?
I don't know really how much screen time does he get.
I don't know. Maybe,
Is it bad that we don't know?
I don't know.
It means that there's more than you think, for sure. Because otherwise you would be monitoring it and you would know. Okay. Are both of you employed?
I'm unemployed.
You're unemployed, are you?
I'm fun employed right now.
We're going to say you're both. Because you're in school, so
Yeah.
that's essentially a job.
Yeah.
Okay. Are finances tight, or are they a struggle?
They're tight.
Okay. Are there any legal difficulties I need to be aware of, or have either of you been involved with the court system, or is there impending separation or divorce that I need to be aware of as far as legal paperwork
No.
No, we're good.
right now?
Shit, what does that mean?
Is there any?
Are we gonna get divorced?
I don't know. That's a good question. We're gonna hopefully prevent that by calming your kid down so that you can get to have a better relationship with him and yourselves. If you don't have a date night ever, this would be part of the problem.
Yeah, we never know what the kid's doing. If he's watching TV or not, or taking the dogs.
Yes, exactly. Is there anything I haven't asked about that you feel would be important for me to know?
The kid is quite sexually active, like masturbating a lot. And teachers have been reporting it too, like right before nap time.
Okay. So it sounds like he's using it as a self-soothing.
He's very like loud about it.
Okay. What have you guys done to try and educate him on that?
We keep telling him that if he keeps touching it, he's gonna fall off, but
It's probably not helpful to lie. So we're gonna work on that. Okay. Alright. So how does he take, or does he take baths or showers willingly?
well, he screams every time with the shower. He likes the bath more.
Okay. So baths he'll take?
Yep.
Okay. You describe him as mostly happy most of the time unless he's melting down? Does he know time and days of the month, days of the week?
Yep.
Okay. He doesn't have any memory problems that you can tell he doesn't forget things unless he's selective about them and doesn't hear you?
He forgets where his shoes are out all the time.
Okay. But can he remember what he did in a day or reflect back on memories of events?
Oh yeah.
So it sounds like your little kiddo probably has some ADHD going on, but I'm going to need to assess him and to get the preschool to do some surveys for me, so I'll provide you with those. But we're going to go ahead and start treatment in the sense of doing play therapy for us to build relationship and to develop some security and fun in the playroom. And then from there, every third or fourth session, I'd request that it be you two so that I could have a conversation with you about what themes I'm seeing, how I think what might be better as far as addressing some parenting skills, and it'll allow you guys to have the opportunity to ask me questions if need be. How's that sound?
Good.
Every third to fourth.
Yeah, every third, fourth. So it takes a while for a child to build relationship and have trust, and so we want them to have some time to do that, and then identify something, make some changes at home, and then I continue to see them to see if they see any movements or shifts happening. Okay?
Okay.
So my schedule is rather tight and busy, so I recommend that you schedule out. It's always easier to get in my schedule than it is to get out of my schedule, because you can always call 24 hours in advance and get out. So definitely schedule out so that you have it available to you. And if you want text reminders, let the front desk know so that they can provide you with the form to sign so that we can make text reminders happen. Do you have any questions?
So, no.
Oh, no questions.
Not in pretend.
Right, no.
Oh, okay.